for Sixers basketball.
446 on the Sports Bash, 97.3 ESPN. Buy or sell, which typically will be at this time with Peachy, who is out for the rest of the day, going to get his marriage certificate today. Getting married soon. The day's coming. It's brought to you by the 21st Annual Polar Bear Plunge in Sea Isle City, the biggest and best polar bear plunge at the Jersey Shore, President's Day weekend, February 13th, 14th, and 15th. The weekend is filled with great contests, live music, and cold water. Don't miss the greatest winter weekend at the shore. Go to 97.3 ESPN's mobile website and register to be a part of the greatest weekend of the winter. The 21st Annual Polar Bear Plunge, La Costa Lounge, Sea Isle City. We'll see you at La Costa. Remember, on your mobile device only will that pop up, not on your regular tablet or laptop. I got this text message from, well, more normally people, actually no, I do have a name here. This one's from Norman in Northfield. He says, how can anybody hang their hats on the Sixers? At least not until 2018. Diehard Philly fan all my life, and my hat hangs on the Eagles. Thank you, Norman. Buy or sell, that is really the topic for this segment. Look, Norman, I get it. How can you hang your hat on the Sixers until 2018? Are you telling me you think the Eagles are going to win a Super Bowl between now and 2018? Because I don't believe that. I'm telling you right now, the Sixers have a better shot to win the NBA championship before the Eagles win a Super Bowl. I certainly believe that. Because, look, in the NFL, too many things, it's hard, man. Too many things this team needs, and I don't think they're 2 years away from winning this thing. In the NBA, 2 years is a big difference. It's a big change in 2 years. Look at Oklahoma City, where they started, and 2 years down the road, when they let Durant play for a little bit, they were playing for championships. I'm not comparing the Sixers to Oklahoma City by any stretch, but Oklahoma City wasn't very good when Durant was a rookie. Oklahoma City was not very good when Durant, by the way, they weren't even in Oklahoma City. They were in Seattle, and they were terrible. You know, it wasn't until about year 3 before Durant, before they started to turn the corner a little bit. I know it's so hard right now to see it. I'm not doubting you or blaming you for not, but I'm trying to tell you, as somebody watches them play every single night, that there are reasons to believe that the hope that you might have is going to pan out for you. And one of the reasons is defense. This team has cut 10 points a game off their defense. They gave up 109.9 points a game last year. They give up 100.3 points a game now. That is almost 10 points per game that they have cut off their points per game ledger. That's unbelievable. It's almost unheard of, to be honest with you. Kevin Pelton was a guest of the Sports Bash on Friday's show on 97.3 ESPN. He talked about Nerlens Noel and whether the Sixers should give up on him, and mainly why they shouldn't.
Years from now, if you go out and get better value for someone in the trade market, then you'll do that. You'll explore that opportunity, but I don't think it's being in a hurry to get rid of him. And yeah, I think that you could definitely get yourself in a lot of trouble by giving up on a guy who's not yet 21 years old, who is coming back after missing a season and a half due to a torn ACL, and clearly.
Here's a guy, and he mentioned 21 years old. The whole roster's 21 years old. And they're somehow winning basketball games with this roster. They've won 4 in a row at home, by the way. Keep that in mind. And here's another thing. Once these guys start to mature, much like they did in Oklahoma City, Kevin Durant didn't come right in and start winning right away. It took a couple years. Russell Westbrook took a couple years. Serge Ibaka took a couple years. These guys didn't just get plucked onto the floor and win 60 games and go to the NBA Finals. People forget they were in Seattle and they stunk. Here's what Kevin Pelton had to say on the Sports Bash about Michael Carter-Williams and why the Sixers probably don't want to give up on him just yet, because the best could be yet to come here for Michael Carter-Williams.
wondering whether they should give up on them well into their career. And, the teams that didn't give up on them, Memphis in Conley's case and Atlanta and Tiggs, have really reaped the benefits.
He really suggested, hey, got to be patient with the point guard spot. It's a spot that really takes a little bit longer. But when he talks about Michael Carter-Williams, this is what he likes and says, look, if he had better talent around him, he might even be better than the numbers say he is.
Efficiency individually is a question. I mean, I think the two things in his benefit. Number one, I think you're more okay having a guy who's a non-shooter if he has the ball in his hand, as Carter-Williams usually does. That's the difference between Dallas when they're playing either Monte Ellis and Rajon Rondo, or when they're playing both of those guys together, and one of them has to be spotting up, and the defense, can drift away from him, doesn't have to respect his three-point shot. And the other thing is, again, just how does his efficiency change when he's playing with better?
Playing with better players. How does his efficiency change? Keep in mind, Michael Carter-Williams is really asked to score a lot on this team because they don't have a lot of other guys that can score. So what do? They ask him to score. How about the expectations of this team? Does Kevin Pelton, ESPN.com's NBA insider, think that this team has exceeded expectations?
I think they have, and I actually would say wins and losses wise, because I thought that there was a chance that this team could be end the season somewhere around 10, 11 wins, right around the the worst record in league history. I thought that was certainly a possibility, and they've surpassed that with their team. It's just they're an exciting, interesting team to watch, and I think that's a big development for them.
An exciting and interesting team to watch, Norman. I invite you to come back on the bandwagon, Norman. Put your hat on this team and come along for the ride, because it's going to be pretty fun. I think ultimately this team is in better shape than any team in the city. And as somebody texted, when did Oklahoma City win it all? Nobody said they won it all. They didn't win it all. But guess what? They've been to the finals, and those kids are very young. They're only getting better, that team. I know this year they're not going to make the playoffs because Durant missed most of the year along with Westbrook. But I bet you 3 years from now, you will take the run that Oklahoma City has taken their fans on. We all know it's about winning a championship. But if in 3 years your team is in the NBA Finals, you're going to tell me you're going to complain about it? I doubt it. You go from 12 wins, 3 years later you're in the Finals, I don't think you have much to complain about. People are just unbelievable. Here's a bag of free money. Oh, it's too heavy. When did Oklahoma City win it all? I don't know. They won 60-plus games a couple times. Sports Bash 97.3 ESPN. I'm Mike Gill. Stick around. Mosher Monday on the way.
Your relationship with your car should be a little like that.